Well, hey guys, in class today we talked about this idea of claims, evidence, and reasoning. How we can make sense and have an explanation for some phenomenon that we've encountered by making a claim, backing that claim up with evidence, and then putting the claim and evidence together in reasoning. So one way you can do that is just to have on your notebook page different places where you talk about the claim and you write it down. For example, what does this graph show? If you were in chemistry class today, we did various chemical reactions. So what was the claim based on the reactions? In the physical science class, we were messing around with pendulums. What claim can you make based on the pendulums? And finally, in life science today, we did something with the water cycle. So what claim can you make based on the water cycle data that we generated in class? Then from the claim, you are going to provide evidence from the data that you've collected to support that claim. And then the reasoning is a way to connect the evidence to the claim. So here's another poster that will remind you of this process, that a claim is generally a one-sentence answer to a question that we've investigated. We've talked about asking questions. So the claim is that answer to the question. In the answer, you're basically saying, what can you conclude? What can you claim about what you've done? The evidence must be sufficient. That means you have to have enough of it. It must be appropriate, and it also must be qualitative, which means that you're using all of the senses like touch, smell, taste, feel. That's where you are gathering data, you're measuring, in the chemical reactions, there might be a smell, you might observe a gas, things like that. And then the reasoning, again, ties together the claim and the evidence. It shows how or why the data count as evidence to support the claim. That's the harder of the three, is the reasoning. Tying those together, as I said in class, it's like the scientific explanation behind it. It's the content. It's like the logical conclusion you draw. It's that explanation that you draw to explain what's going on. Okay? So this is how we get to explanations. It's a claim, an evidence, and a reasoning. And I'll have more for you to do in the homework this week. Thanks. I'll see you next week.